You know what's kind of crazy? For years, NASCAR fans have been asking the same question. Who's next? Who's going to be the next Kyle Larson, the next Denny Hamlin, the next guy that takes over the sport once some of these veterans start hanging it up? And honestly, I think we're watching that generation right now. Because whether it's a kid that came from iRacing, a dirt track phenom getting compared to Kyle Larson, or a Toyota prospect that was absolutely farming ARCA wins like it was a side quest, NASCAR has some serious young talent coming through the pipeline. And the scary part? Some of these guys aren't prospects anymore. They're already winning races. So today, let's talk about some of the young stars that could define NASCAR over the next decade. I'm Mirzo the Ticket. If you like sports, NASCAR, college football, anything like that, it's a channel for you, man. Make sure you subscribe. Let's start with William Sawalich. If you don't know, I call him William Sandwich, man. It goes way back, just trust me. Now, if you don't follow ARCA, this might be one of those names you haven't heard much yet, but trust me, you will. Because this dude was basically a cheat code at that level. Back-to-back ARCA East championships in 2023 and 2024, 13 national ARCA wins, and in 2024 alone, 9 victories. 9. Bro was treating the competition like he had difficulty settings turned down. And that's why Toyota and Joe Gibbs Racing have invested so much into him. Everything about Sawalich's development is felt intentional. Quarter midgets, legend cars, ARCA, truck series starts, then eventually working his way into the Joe Gibbs Racing the famous number 18 car. And one thing I've noticed about Sawalich is he doesn't race with a ton of flash. He's not the guy hanging it out every lap. He's calculated, patient, the type of driver that's perfectly okay running fourth all day if it means he got something at the end. And honestly, that's a skill a lot of young drivers struggle with. The biggest moment of his career so far came earlier this year at Rockingham. Historic track, tires falling off all race long, drivers having to manage equipment, and that's where Sawalich finally grabbed his first career victory. Right now, he's sitting 9th in points with 4 top 5s, 7 top 10s, and over 100 laps led. Not bad for a guy still learning at this level. And if his ARCA career taught us anything, it's that once he gets comfortable somewhere, he tends to start winning a lot. Now, let's talk about Corey Day. And honestly, this might be the guy I'm most interested in watching over the next few years. Because before most NASCAR fans even know who Corey Day was, Kyle Larson was already talking about him. And if Kyle Larson is telling me somebody can drive, I'm paying attention. Because Larson isn't exactly known for handing out compliments like candy. Now, Corey built his reputation in dirt racing, and not just being good, being ridiculous. He became the youngest winner in USAC National Midget history and later on the King of the West Sprint Car Championship. But what makes him different isn't necessarily his trophies, it's how he drives. You watch Corey Day race and sometimes it looks like he's driving a completely different racetrack than anybody else. He's willing to search for grip in places other drivers won't even attempt. Very Larson-esque, very high risk, very high reward. And when it works, it looks incredible. Listen, now Hendrick Motorsports brought him into their pipeline, and in 2026, he's driving a number 17 Chevy full time. And honestly, the transition has happened quicker than I expected. He already has 2 wins at Talladega and Dover. The Dover one especially stood out to me because he had to go get it. Last late race battle, pressure on, makes the move, gets the job done. That's the type of stuff you love seeing from young drivers. He's currently 3rd in points with nearly 200 laps led and an average finish under 10th. Safe to say the Larson comparisons aren't going away anytime soon. Now, Rajah Caruth might have one of the coolest stories in NASCAR. Because unlike most drivers, Rajah didn't grow up spending every weekend racing go-karts or racing midgets. He wasn't traveling the country at age 7 chasing trophies. This dude got noticed through iRacing. Think about that for a second. A simulator. Not really a video game, some call it a video game, but a simulator. And now he's racing professionally in NASCAR. That's insane, and honestly, it's pretty inspiring too. Because Rajah's become proof that there isn't always one path in the motorsports. And what I like about his driving style is that he's not the guy usually creating the chaos. He's smooth, patient, very cerebral. He's always thinking ahead, always trying to maximize strategy. And that approach helped him become a truck series winner and one of the most popular drivers in the garage. This year he's doing something pretty unique, splitting time between Junior Motorsports and Jordan Anderson Racing while trying to establish himself at NASCAR's second level, the O'Reilly Series. The stats don't jump off the page yet, 1 top 5, 5 top 10s a pole, but I think Rajah's story has always been bigger than the stat sheet. Every step of the way, people have questioned whether he could keep climbing, and every step of the way, he's found a way to keep moving forward. He got my support always. Now, if we're talking about guys that race with absolutely zero fear, Jesse Love belongs near the top of that list. This dude has been basically breaking records since he was old enough to drive. Youngest winner in ARCA West history at 15 years old. Youngest NASCAR sanctioned champion ever. Then last year, he went out and won the O'Reilly Series Championship. And what made it better was who he beat. Connor Zilisch, one of his biggest rivals and also one of his bestest friends. Those two spent all year trading punches before Love finally came out on top. Now in 2026, he's back driving the iconic number 2 car for RCR and still looks like one of the favorites every week. What makes Love dangerous is his confidence. Some drivers get cautious late in races. Not Jesse. Give him a restart with 10 laps to go and he's probably about to make somebody uncomfortable. He's aggressive, he's fearless, and sometimes he's a little too aggressive, but that's why he's successful. Second in points, 10 top 10s, nearly 300 laps led. The defending champ is backing up everything he accomplished last year. Speaking of drivers who are backing things up, let's talk about Corey Heim. And honestly, I think Corey Heim might be the most cup-ready prospect in America right now. Seriously, look at what this guy has done. Last year, he won 12 truck races. 12. It's not normal. Video game numbers. That's the type of season where everybody else in the garage is just hoping you have a bad day. Then came the news a lot of people were expecting. 2311 Racing officially announced that Heim will be joining the Cup Series full-time in 2027. And if I'm a Toyota fan, if I'm a 2311 fan, I'm feeling pretty good about that. Because Heim's biggest strength isn't his flashy highlights, it's consistency. The dude almost never beats himself. Even this year, he's balancing truck starts and cup races, and somehow he's still winning. In only 4 truck starts, he's only got 2 victories. And here's the crazy part. Even after intentionally missing races, he was still leading the truck's point standings at a certain point in the season. That's ridiculous. If there was ever a prospect that feels ready for the next level, it's definitely Corey Heim, and I can't wait to see what he does in the 2311 car next year. Now, Connor Zillage might have the highest ceiling of anybody that we're talking about today, and that's saying a lot, because the talent level on this list is ridiculous. But before he became a NASCAR superstar, Zillage was already making waves in sports car racing. At 17 years old, he won class victories at both the Rolex 24 and the 12 Hours of Sebring. Most drivers spend years trying to accomplish that. He did it immediately. Then came 2025, and honestly, it was one of the craziest O'Reilly seasons we've seen in a long time. 10 wins, regular season championship, rookie of the year, an 18 race top 5 streak. 18. That's absurd. The Cup Series has been a reality check though. No top 10s yet, still searching for consistency, currently sitting near the bottom of the standings, but that's why Cup is different. Everybody's good. Every mistake gets punished. But the car is extremely different from an O'Reilly or a truck, so you got to keep that in mind. But every week is a learning experience, and I'm not worried about Connor Zillage long term. Not even a little bit. The talent is way too obvious, and it's just a matter of time before he gets the right equipment. You feel what I'm saying? Or he gets the right equipment. Now let's talk about Carson Hocevar. And if we're being real, Carson might be one of the most entertaining drivers in NASCAR right now. He might be the most entertaining driver in NASCAR right now. I'm stamping it. Because you never truly know what you're going to get. One week, he's making an incredible move that has fans saying, yo, this dude can drive. The next week, he's got half the garage mad at him. But that's what kind of makes Carson. The dude races on the edge every single lap. That's why fans started calling him the Hurricane. Because when he's around, something is usually happening. And honestly, Spire Motorsports see him as way more than a talented driver. They see him as the future, the face of the organization. That's why they signed him to a massive extension and basically said, yeah, we're building around this guy. Then in April 2026, he rewarded that faith. Talladega, one of the toughest places in NASCAR to win, one of the toughest places in NASCAR to race. Everybody wrecking, everybody blocking, everybody trying to survive. And Carson Hocevar found himself right in the middle of the fight. He spent the final stretch battling veterans before finally holding off Chris Buescher for his first Cup Series victory. And I ain't gonna lie, that felt like a moment. It was a moment, not just a race win, a moment. The kind of win that makes everybody realize a driver might actually be a future star and not just talk. And as if that wasn't enough, the dude somehow ended up making a surprise appearance at the Met Gala this year too. How many NASCAR drivers could say they've gone from dirt and stock cars to fashion events in New York? Currently 9th in points with 6 top 10s, 3 top 5s, and a win already locked up. The Hurricane has arrived. And finally, we got one of my favorite drivers, man, Ty Gibbs. Now this is where things get interesting, because I don't even know if Ty Gibbs belongs in the future stars conversation anymore. At some point, you stop being a prospect and you become a contender. And this year, I think that Ty has crossed that line. For years, people looked at Ty and immediately talked about his last name, his family, his opportunities. His name is on the building at JGR. But here's the thing, you still have to perform. And you know what? Ty is doing that. Before he ever got the Cup, he absolutely terrorized the Xfinity Series. 12 wins, a championship, and one of the fastest rises through NASCAR we've seen in years. Then came the Cup Series. And like a lot of young drivers, there were growing pains. There were moments where people wondered if he was developing fast enough. There were moments where people questioned if he would live up to the hype. Fast forward to 2026. Everything's going on, lawsuit, and those questions are starting to disappear because on April 12th, Ty Gibbs finally got the breakthrough he'd be chasing. Bristol Motor Speedway, one of the most difficult tracks on the entire schedule, one of NASCAR's most iconic venues, and Ty went out there and got it done. His first Cup Series victory, and not just any victory, a Bristol victory holding off Ryan Blaney. That's a pretty good way to get your first trophy. Now he's sitting 5th in points, comfortably inside the playoff picture with 6 top 5s and 9 top 10s. The scary thing, he's still getting better. And that's why a lot of people around the garage view him as the final boss of the development pipeline. The guy every young prospect is eventually trying to catch. Because Ty Gibbs isn't chasing potential anymore. Now he's chasing championships. It's what makes this era so interesting. None of these drivers took the same path. One came from iRacing. One came from dirt racing. One dominated ARCA. One dominated trucks. One dominated sports cars. But all of them are chasing the exact same thing. Becoming the next face of NASCAR. And honestly, I don't think there's a wrong answer here. Corey Heim looks ready now. Connor Zillage might have the highest ceiling. Corey Day has Hendrick and Kyle Larson backing him. Jesse Love keeps winning. William Sawalage is climbing fast. Raja Karuf keeps proving people wrong. Carson Hocevar is already contending for cup wins weekly. And Ty Gibbs is showing you all you need is a little bit of patience. The future is loaded. So I want to know from y'all, if you had to pick one driver from this group to build your NASCAR team around for the next 10 years, who are you taking and why? Because honestly, I got a feeling we're going to be talking about these names for a very, very long time. It's your boy Mirzo the Ticket. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like. We'll catch you on the next one, man. Stay blessed. Keep spreading peace and positivity. Deuces!